but it was delicious.
Awesome. All right, ladies, I'm gonna get started, especially since we're on like day 7, last day. Sorry. Julie's joining too. So today I really just want to do a recap and definitely do the Muse Method with you. I want to get what your experience has been this week. Not so much for me to get it, but for you to get it for yourself. Because as we move forward, the question is this something valuable enough to you to continue to do for yourself? So rather than just answering that question, it's why is it valuable? What has it done for you? And why would you want to continue? Just doing the Muse Method 3 times a day or more. What are your thoughts?
I think it's been good because it made me realize you don't have to like set out this specific time to go do this, and like you could just do it through the day. I mean, I just slip into a room at work, and for a minute, I mean, you can just take your time and do it. So I think that's been good, and it just helps me to reset and refocus to get back to doing the tasks I need to do better, because it just resets you and allows me to be better at whatever my task is that I'm doing at work, and to do the best job I can at that. So it's been great.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely helped me. This has been a really rough week. I've actually lost 2 friends. So that's kind of helped me push through that. And I feel more grounded, and it's really kind of cool because my husband's been doing it with me. And I woke up this morning, goes, I already did my Muse, so he's really, started working with me. So that's been really great. So I just feel better. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. Happier, maybe. I don't know, but definitely has made a difference for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think if we go back to what the purpose of their intention is of it, like to breathe life into us, it gives us the clue as to why we feel better or more grounded, more centered, right? And sometimes it's just taking the edge off, because maybe you just only went up 1%, but like it took the edge off of life, of things, right? And so awesome. I just love that fact that your husband's not just doing it with you, but he's like, I already did one today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, he did. He gets up really early.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anyone else?
I agree with everybody, what everyone said here too. And it's like you think, oh, well, I have to set aside this like monumental time and slot, and you really don't. I mean, I sometimes do it when I go to the restroom at work, you know what I mean? Just to kind of, all right, I mean, you're in there for a minute anyway. So it's kind of just making those little choices, to those little minutes of time, which you have always. I mean, I did it yesterday. We were driving to a volleyball tournament, and I made my daughters do it in the back seat, and I did a open-eyed driving one, and it was like, and I'm like, how'd that feel? And they were like, that felt good. So it's been pretty awesome. So thank you, Tara.
Welcome. I love that you're bringing it to your daughters. I mean, I definitely have, I work with a lot of teens, and so I was on with a teen the other day right before she had a concert, and I just said to her, before you go into the concert, especially as someone who is highly aware, right? You can already be in there and feeling the crowd, feeling the people crowding you out, right? Like we can say that like, oh, crowds drain us, but really what it is we go into this like smaller parts of us, like we just get smaller and smaller and smaller, and we give more space to other people. And I was like, if you do the Muse Method before you go in, it's not that you're pushing them out. You just get to reside in your own space. You get to reside in you. And so you get to bring all the words that you need to sing. You get to bring the ability to connect with the people that you want to, right? It's not a pushing away. It's just, I'm going to embody my body. I'm going to embody the space around me. So I love that you're teaching your daughters that, because it's highly empowering, because, what could go wrong when we're taking more of us into every situation? It's so awesome. Thanks. What else?
I think for me, first of all, I did not do it in the middle of the day. I did it in the morning and I did it at the night, and that's just what worked for me. I think those were my quiet moments where I needed a little bit longer than a minute, I will admit. So I actually like setting aside a little bit longer of a time for me to get into that. But I would say the biggest effect for me that I noticed is it was bringing up a lot of issues, and not emotional issues, but stuff like, oh, I never looked at things that way. Or, oh, wow, I actually have more time for this. Or, oh my gosh, I had a really productive day. So I was just noticing the effects of things that were happening around me, or things that were changing around me, or my attitude towards things that were changing. Yes, I think I got lost somewhere, but that overall was my experience this week, was really noticing things were actually happening in a different way than before.
Mm-hmm. I love that, right? Because a lot of times we're taught, like, change your perspective, change this, but you can change your perspective and still be in the same grumpy attitude. I mean, I lived that. I was a gratitude journal girl for so long, but I was just like looking away from the things that I was like, I'm going to have a happy perspective. But inside I was dying because I was ignoring, right? And I also wasn't full of myself, right? In a good way. And so I was ignoring the fact that, like, life was depleting me. I wasn't showing up for it. And so for you, this is like, so to me, it's like magic, right? All of a sudden you're there and things just start to prioritize for you in a way that really honors you. It centers around you instead of like in a linear path. So, and then you start to nurture yourself without even realizing it. So very, very cool. What else? Hi, Linda. All right, awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing. The other thing I wanted to say, it came up in a different group that I run, that instead of going for me time, that this helps us to create all of our time as us, because everywhere we go, so instead of like carving out little pockets of me time, right? Like, oh, I'm going to go and do this and this and this for me. By taking the moments to do the Muse Method, we end up finding that our life becomes me time. Everywhere we go, there we are. And so we start to see that life centers around that space. It centers around the glow of us. It centers around the desires of us. It starts to bring us the things that actually serve and contribute to us. But it also just brings a greater fulfillment. I think, Teresa, on a different call that we had, you were talking about how it just seems to mean more, like life seems to mean more. And when we're doing this, like, we get more fulfilled. It really, life stops being a list of to-dos and like usefulness, and it starts to become meaningful and fulfilling. And that's something to live for, right? Yeah. Any other thoughts? Hi, Linda. How are you? Thanks for joining. Did you want to share anything about why, like, what value you got out of this week, so that you can, but like, do you guys want to take it forward? I'm meaning just for yourselves, like you doing the Muse Method forward in your life.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
This has been a exceptionally wonderful week. Maybe it's because of the Muse. I have to confess, I didn't do it 3 times every day, but more than I have ever before. And I've just, I'm getting our house ready for sale. I drove to Louisville. There, a lot of things had to be done this week, and nothing has been overwhelming. Nothing, I can't even use the word that I'm stressed. There was not stress. I just enjoyed everything I had to do. Well, getting our, the minutia of getting the individual rooms ready of our house, which, was a lot of tedious stuff, but it's not been stressful. I'm not done yet, but there is definitely something different in my mind about the way I'm approaching what could have been the mundane or crap, why do I have to do this? It's just been wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And I just thank you, Tara.
Well, thank you for saying that, but also thank yourself for showing up for it, right? Like that's the biggest thing going forward is like, if it's making this much of an impact and it's this simple and this easy, why wouldn't you carve, like not carve out, but like go do it, like create it so that it becomes a beautiful habit. Like you get into the car and you're like, I'm going to do it eyes open, but one hand, I'm going to do this while I'm driving so that like I'm centered in driving. Julie, I know you're driving too. Did you want to share something? Because I saw you unmute. Maybe yes, maybe no. No. Did you want to share, Linda?
Oh, I agree with Debbie. I know that yesterday I had a really, really full day, and usually I'm getting ready for a little party demonstration, and usually I would have been exhausted and tired, and I just completed everything with ease, and my thinking is changing. It's sort of like I'm learning that I'm enough, that it's like you said, you show up fully for everything. So when I go to bed at night, I can go to sleep because I've done my day. I am releasing myself from really worrying and obsessing about what other people think. And I have a tough job. I have a tough job in the terms of personality of the people I work with. So that's nice. And the other day I actually heard my muse speak to me, which I was like, whoa, that clutter is going away, that and that's nice.
That is nice. No, that's wonderful. And here's the thing. So we're often taught to change our thoughts, but if you're not full, like if you're not actually filled yourself, it's very hard to change your thoughts, because if 80% of you is filled with all the other stuff outside of you, responsibilities, other people's voices, et cetera, you're going into battle. And I don't want you to go into battle. So the more that you can breathe life into you, you're not even filling up with positive thoughts. You're just filling up with self, right? And the self goes, oh, that's for me, that's not. That's for me, that's not. Like, and it's this like a rudder that says, I don't need to like battle it. I don't need to turn it a different way. It's those things are just not my truth. Okay, let's drive on past, right? Like drive on past. And so you can carry on having whatever opinion you do. You can live in angst. You can live in, whatever anger. That's okay. But I'm going to be over here enjoying myself with the people that like contribute to me, that serve me, that support that, right? And so you can see that more clearly. Otherwise, we go into battle all too often and come out with battle scars. So, did you want to add anything, Teresa Martins?
I have a lot going on. I just can't even put it all into words. And this has definitely helped me center. A lot of great things have come my way in one short week's time. And it's just, even before my husband passed, it was all about him and us and never me. And so now I had really been lost in that. And now this is just, you could say it's a stressful situation, but this last week has been a lot calmer and I've gotten a lot more completed. Yeah.
My heart goes out to you because I know how sudden that was, and I'm so thankful that you showed up, and sorry, I get emotional for you. So I'm glad, like in such a difficult time that you're going through, that this can come in, that you can come in and make it easier for yourself just by breathing life into you. It's not a just, is it? I mean, it's a pretty powerful transition. So Yeah. I'm so glad that you had a good week, Teresa. If
Me
anybody
too.
needed it, you did. Right. An easier week. All right. So I'm going to have us do the Muse Method one last time all together. And this is what I'm going to say. Like, this is just something that you can carry on with. If you want something where you can stay connected to a group, I have a group called the Revolutionize Your 2022, and we meet once a month. Otherwise, we interact in a Facebook group. Otherwise, I do private sessions. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about that. If you have interest, just reach out to me. I'd like to keep this really all about the Muse Method, and just encourage you to keep coming to this Muse Method challenge group. If you need to watch the videos again, they're all going to be housed here in the featured area. And then also reach out to each other if you need more support. Like, there's some times where you just need to do it with somebody else on the phone or on Zoom. Like, hey, let's just get together and do the Muse Method together. Where two or more are gathered, like, the energy just expands and is truly blessed. So that's what I would say. So let's go for our last Muse Method together. When we hit the timer, we're going to do all 4 parts. Intention of breathing life into yourself. Hands on, close your eyes and breathe. 1 second. All right, so pick your hand spots. And you may not know until you actually close your eyes and breathe. So allow yourself to move them if they need to. Okay, here we go. All right. A minute goes really fast. I'm thankful for all of you showing up. I'm thankful that you allowed it to be way more powerful than I even knew was possible. And so I just absolutely adore all of you who are on, and all the people who couldn't join live. And I just ask you to continue to do it. Allow yourself to share yourself with the world. It's what creates beauty here. You absolutely do matter. You're more than enough. And you need you even more than anybody else does. So thank you, ladies. Have a beautiful weekend.
Thank
And
you.
Thanks, Tara.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Thanks. Good to see you guys.
Thank you.